Let's see what the giant of Kandahar is up to right now. Post
So eight
vote.
Senate.
Of course he's on Fox News. Of course this is Fox News. I bet like Fetterman couldn't wait to run to Fox News before he told anyone. Before he told his wife that he was going to quit on this, he for sure like ran to Fox News. His Fox News handler.
Democrats breaking rank, voting with Republicans to reopen the government and exposing deep divisions within their own party.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is now facing calls to step aside. Democrat Congressman Ro Khanna writing he is no longer effective and should be replaced. As Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib says, Schumer is out of touch with the American people.
So Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is one of the 8 Democrats who crossed the aisle to advance the bill. And it looks like officially tomorrow we're going to have an open government and end the longest shutdown in American history. Senator John Fetterman joins us now, and his book is now out today.
I think John Fetterman has like the soulful look of a guy who listens to post grunge music. Like I think it's just because he has like the air of a divorced guy, even though he hasn't been like divorced. But like he just can't you see he has like the soulful look of those guys who make those dramatic TikToks, like the trucker cab dramatic TikToks about like if you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best, and then they just like throw their trucker hat at the camera lens or something like that. Or like they do the ones where like they play a little Theory of a Dead Man, and then they like dramatically take off their wedding ring and they just like throw it away and then it goes into slow motion. Like that's just the vibe that I get from John Fetterman.
It's called Unfettered, and it's really your life. And Senator,
That's
first
his
off,
book.
how relieved are you that the government's going to be open?
So relieved. I think my party crossed a line of now putting 42 million Americans.
Oh man, it's really a shame how Fox News does this to him. Like I know I make fun of John Fetterman, and you may feel it's in bad taste sometimes, and sometimes it is because the especially funny ones are in bad taste. I like to think, but the people who are doing the worst to John Fetterman are like Fox News. Like they're like the people who are like gassing him up while he's clearly not okay. Forget about our political disagreements. Like he's clearly not okay. Like the people who are closest to him are saying that he's not driving, he's not following through with a lot of like the medical advice of his like brain doctor. And so like, these people are taking advantage of like, Senator Lenny here. And that's not okay, despite the fact that like it's also to the detriment of the like American people.
I think my party.
But this is just like a microcosm. This is just like a micro example of like how the far right like uses and abuses like marginalized people, disaffected Americans in order to like advance their interests while they think that they're just like getting attention, only for like just to end poorly.
So relieved. I think my party crossed a line of now putting 42 million Americans with their SNAP benefits and making flying less safe and that kinds of chaos and not paying our military. I mean, that was a red line for me that I can't cross as a Democrat. And I think that's been described country over the party. And now that I think that's been the truth throughout it, and it's only wrong to shut our government down, and I'm relieved. But the people now that are going to get paid and fed, and millions of Americans, they're going to be flying now. That's going to be made more safe and restored.
So Senator Axios has a piece this morning that says Chuck Schumer was talking to the moderate Democrats, pulled them privately aside and said, I know you want to open up the government after 2 weeks. But don't do that. Don't cave to the Republicans. Did he ever talk to you? He knew how you were going to vote. Did he ever talk to you about it?
Absolutely no. I was not in a conversation, or I never got any outreach. Everyone understood. I really kind of led the charge back in March. And then I said, I know we'll be back in September. And I said, I know where my vote will be then, too. It's always a hard yes to keep our government open. I mean, that's my principle because it's wrong to shut our government down. And now we knew that we would put those 42 million Americans for SNAP and paying our military and, the Capitol Police. I mean, people have went 5 weeks without being paid. That's a violation of my core values, and I think it's our party's as well.
So, Senator, you came in as somewhat an outsider. And by the way, I was wrong, totally wrong about you. I thought you were going to be a radical, and you've been totally different than that. Who is running the show
yeah,
now?
you love to hear that from Fox and Friends. You love to hear that you're like, they thought you were going to be like a radical, but actually you're just really in line with like Brian kill all the homeless Kilmeade.
In the Democratic Party, in the Senate, in the House?
No one really knows, and I think my values are reflected in my vote and the things that I support here, and if that might put me at odds with parts of my party, I'm okay with that. I mean, we need to be a big party, a big tent party. So for me, it's
No,
like
we
these are
don't.
pretty
No, we
reasonable.
don't need that because that results in stuff like this, like a lack of uniformity on issues where we need there to be like a line held because it benefits the American people. Like, and besides, this is why I don't really believe what they just said about Schumer not having anything to do with this, because the big tent party talking point is just meant to obscure the reality that the Democratic Party is neoliberal and therefore conservative in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to like their stance on the working class versus the capitalist class. Like they tend towards the conservative. They tend towards like devaluing the public sector in favor of the private sector. Like those are conservative positions. Those are not traditionally left positions, but that's what makes them neoliberal. They're also neoconservative when it comes to foreign policy and policing. Although, yeah, that's a little bit different. They're conservative when it comes to domestic policing. They're neoconservative when it comes to imperialism, which we saw with, their full-throated support of the genocide in Gaza under Joe Biden. And so, in reality, I don't believe what they said about Chuck Schumer not having any knowledge about this. I think this was just, part of the plan. And obviously, who makes a better patsy than John Fetterman?
A big party, a big tent party.
And the
For
big
me,
tent talking point is just meant to obscure that, like, these are the kinds of people who, when they make decisions like this, are not going to face any kind of formal or informal sanctions from the party apparatus, despite there being things that they could do. Like just like Joe Manchin didn't, just like Sinema didn't, right? Like that's how you know what the ideology of the party is. Who doesn't get punished? Who doesn't get pushed out when they deviate from the plan? They pushed out the Squad. They pushed out Jamal Bowman. They pushed out a lot of more radical, or prevented them from getting into office by hook or crook. They prevent them from getting into office. But when you do stuff like this, they have nothing but like kind words behind the scene for you, for like, because you're just exercising your diversity of opinion.
I mean, we
Like,
need to be.
and that's how you know what the ideology of the big tent party is. That's how you know what the ideology of the heterodox opinion piece op-ed columns part of the New York Times is. It's the ideas that they never seem to have a problem platforming versus the ones that you just rarely see. And if you see them, immediately they're pushed out.
With parts of my party, I'm okay with that. I mean, we need to be a big party, a big tent party.
Yeah, you need to be a big tent because you're full
for
of
me,
fucking
it's like
clowns.
these are pretty reasonable. I mean, my party's always been opposing shutting our government down. And I'm not sure why it's controversial now to devote these things. And I refuse to put all these people in the middle of this political kinds of brinkmanship.
So I want you to hear what Lindsey Graham said about you last night with Sean Hannity. Watch.
Senator Schumer is probably toast. He's probably can't survive in this environment. The question is, can Senator Fetterman? I think Senator Fetterman has got a hell of a story to tell to the people of Pennsylvania. I've been up here doing the best I can, and I think people are looking for that kind of attitude, not the Schumer attitude. They're looking for people to say, I'll listen to both sides, and I'll use my own judgment.
He's saying
not
that
be
he
told
wants it
what
to be
do.
Fetterman. Oh my God.
All I can say is that we held our ground. The government is open. We're going to have a healthy debate about health care. And there's one person that had a lot to do with this we've never talked about much, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Your reaction?
We never talk about Donald J. Trump.
My reaction is what I said earlier. I am truly elated that our government is going to reopen for all of the millions and millions of Americans now. Will have their lives brought back to normal. And now Senator Graham,
and he'll be missing from
I
votes
agree
within
with
the
him
week. He'll be missing from
several
votes
of the
within the
foreign
week.
policies now, and we have collaborated on those things. In fact,
Yeah, they both
really
love
both
Israel.
agreed that striking the Iranian nuclears was entirely appropriate and necessary. So I follow, I think, the truth in those situations, regardless of
top two Israel
the letter
stands.
after their names.
Well, besides Huckabee, obviously.
For me, where is our party? Our party is trying to figure our way forward, and mine's going to be an honest projection of where the direction and the kind of values that our party should embrace. And that's going to play out. But for me, I have no regrets. I've been very proud of the votes that I've made since I've been here as a senator.
Senator Fetterman, we were reading your book over the weekend and yesterday, and I took a lot of notes. I wanted to just reach out and hug you while I'm reading a lot of this because my heart was broken for you. You said that when you became senator, you never thought you'd be a senator. In fact, when you won, you said, quote, "I felt nothing." You said your family couldn't even get you out of bed. It was the worst 2 years of your life. You were depressed, you had the stroke, you had a heart condition. Your debate performance, you said, was one of the worst ever in politics. You said you lost the love of your family. Your kids
why you gotta
avoided
drag
you.
him through like the
You
mud
said you've
for this?
always kind of been a loner. You had few close friends. You loved to stay at home and watch movies with your family and your kids. And now you're a senator. You have to talk to all of your constituents.
Is there a question? Is there a question here? Like,
and you've shocked a lot of us. I thought you were so progressive when you ran as a senator, and then you sat down with that interview that Selena Zito did at your house with Dave McCormick and his wife. I know y'all have gone to dinner with them as well. So why the change? Was it because you almost lost your life? Your heart did stop at one point. So
yeah, he literally got brain damage, and it made him more conservative. Crazy. It's a crazy villain story, but many such cases, right? He got brain damage, and it made him like more conservative, like more radically pro-Israel. Like I don't even know what to say. Like it's a real cautionary tale.
Change? Was it because you almost lost your life?
I got a catastrophic head injury, so I became a MAGA guy.
So why the change, and why do you want to be senator? After reading this, you said you really don't like crowds. You have a small group of friends.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess medically, I technically died during the process, and it was very sobering when I woke up, and the doctors weren't able to even discuss in terms of months at that moment, and it's been. It was obviously very difficult, but I've emerged, and I'm grateful to sit in this chair right now and have this conversation with you right now. For me, it's like I really wanted to have a very honest book about and describe that journey, because I think it's a very important conversation to have. And since I started talking about these things, I've had conversations from reach out from members of Congress or parents. And actually their children as well, too. People encounter me and they say, hey, thank you. And now I got help, or I decided not to do the awful choice. So for me, my message is very simple. If anyone feels lost or they're in the throes of depression, I beg people, please stay in this game, because I promise you will get better. Because 3 years ago, I was in the depths of that depression, and now I've emerged as a United States Senator, and I've been right now in the front of the middle.
Okay, all joking aside, if you are in the throes of depression, I don't want you to think about John Fetterman, because that might put you over the edge, especially if you compare where you are now and where you could be to where like John Fetterman is now. Like, forget everything he's saying, like. Seek real help. Don't look to let John Fetterman be a cautionary tale.
I was in the depths of that depression, and now I've emerged as a United States Senator, and I've been right now in the front of the middle thing, and now proud to reopen our government, stand with Israel. The middle
he is
thing,
not okay. He
Senator,
needs to be
and I've
helped.
been right now in the front of the middle thing, and now proud to reopen our government, stand with Israel, and also I am truly grateful
So, Senator, what's next for Senator Fetterman?
It's crazy. They don't even notice anything is wrong or care. Like, and their audience doesn't notice anything is wrong or care because their audience is used to listening to Trump speak, and their audience is also like 90. Like the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 97 years old or something.
I am truly grateful.
So, Senator, what's next for Senator Fetterman? Governor, re-election for Senate, maybe running for president?
My future is to celebrate Thanksgiving, and it's like, and to celebrate, and we have to find a way forward. I am. It's like
he seems to be doing worse. He seems to be doing worse every time we see him.
After my father had a similar kinds of medical situation, we both turned to each other and said we should both be dead. And here I am. And ironically, after I nearly died from my stroke, and then I reached the point where I decided to take myself out. And that's also part of the truth of the brutality of the course, how difficult politics are. And now I've lost the taste to fight, and I refuse to use these kinds of terms or derogatory terms and things. I spend my time here in the Senate trying to find a way forward.
So you don't want to fight. So then retire.
Keeps people honest and remembering that there are two sides, and that doesn't make them fascists or terrible people. They're trying to destroy our democracy.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily make them fascist.
I'm at.
That they're on the other side. It's the things that they do that make them fascist. I really just
define how grateful I am to be right here.
Yeah, I promise you, if you pick up the book, you're definitely going to be inspired. It's raw, it's honest, and the best chapter is yet to be written. It's straight ahead for you, Senator. So pick up on
the
Fetter
second
today.
chapter, because there's only
Thanks for telling your story.
Thank you, Senator. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe.
He does not look good. You can just see in how they interact with him that they don't care. Like they'll use and abuse you. They'll usually see you thrown out. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sad, sick world. Gosh.